Time now for Hawk Zone, sponsored by Michael-Shawn Casino.
And welcome back to the show. So the Seahawks dropped to 1-2 on the season after losing a home game to the winless Atlanta Falcons. New Day contributor Terry Hollimon and Michael-Shawn Dugar from The Athletic join me now to talk about this kind of depressing game yesterday.
Yeah, it was kind of, I feel sad this morning. I have the SAD. I've been talking about this for years. All the years I've been doing Hawk Zone. SAD is called Seahawks Affective Disorder. It's not seasonal affective disorder, it's the Seahawks.
But the Falcons ran all over the Seahawks. So what's happening with the defense?
Yeah, they wanted to get younger, hungrier, and faster. That's why you saw some of the guys who were on the other side of 30 get released or cut, whatever, this offseason. But younger, hungrier, and faster does not mean better. Okay. You know, those are different adjectives.
Does not mean better.
No, it doesn't. And this game on Sunday was an example of how you need to be better, not necessarily just younger and faster.
That's what I tell my boss all the time. They're really missing Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. I mean, Bobby was the heart and soul of the defense. He had a season last year where he had like 170 tackles or something like that. Like, he was easily one of the best defenders at his position. He was a really good linebacker, and what did you see yesterday? Linebackers just not making a lot of plays. Like, that's not a coincidence.
I think it's more than just his actual physical play. I think his presence, you know, being a long-toothed veteran in the middle of that defense and knowing where everybody needs to be, someone that everybody could lean on, especially a young guy when he, you know, doesn't know what's going on, can't figure things out. Bobby Wagner's in the middle. We can lean on that guy.
Yeah.
Well, what was working yesterday?
Well, Geno Smith played, a really good game.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of criticism of Geno Smith because of how the first part of his career went when he was in New York, and even some of the games he played for Seattle last year. But he was on fire yesterday. They were chanting his name at home for like the second game in a row.
Nice.
Geno. I think he threw for 325 yards or something like that. He was doing his thing, and they just couldn't close the game.
Yeah.
That's where you have to be really great. That's where someone like Russell Wilson, who was great last night in the clutch, that's how he made his name. Geno still hasn't done that quite yet.
So how does he do that? How do we get there?
You got to be special.
Yeah.
You got to be special.
You have to be special in this league. Like, you can be good, you can be fine, you can be competent for 58 minutes. There's 2 minutes left in a 60-minute game. Can you go be special? I think that's what's missing right now on offense.
And have that, ability to just not break under pressure.
Yeah, and I think, again, that's something that Russell Wilson had, like Michael here alluded to, just that specialness at the end of the game where you counted on him, whether we were down 3 points, 7 points, or 8 points. You had faith as a Seahawks fan that Russell Wilson was going to be able to come through in the clutch. Right now, I don't think they have that with Geno. He's able to manage an entire game, like you said, 58 minutes of an entire game, basically flawless, and doesn't throw an interception till the end of the game. We just got to have that little magic.
Yeah, magic, special. I like this. Magic. The je ne sais quoi of the football field.
Are we talking Spanish here today?
I mean,
we're doing Spanish on New Day.
Not to change subjects, but I do have to change subjects for a second. Let's talk about what happened in the fourth quarter. They stopped the game because of a drone flying in.
Yes.
Yeah, that was weird.
Same thing happened at the UW game the day before. That was kind of what do you think? I What was going on?
Can I unleash a conspiracy theory?
Absolutely.
No,
New Day is here for that.
I want to throw out. I'm half-hearted, but the Seahawks had a longtime receptionist at the VMAC, the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, where they have their headquarters.
Yeah.
Her name was Jill. Lovely lady.
Yeah.
Always had candy at the front desk. I'd always dig in there and grab Reese's.
Yeah.
She just retired recently, and we were asking her, hey, Jill, we had like a little retirement celebration for her.
Yeah.
Said, hey, what are you going to do now that you're retired? Go sail on boats or whatever. She said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to learn how to be a drone operator.
Oh.
I was thinking about that this morning. Jill. Was it Jill? That's my conspiracy theory for the morning.
Okay, that's interesting.
I just wonder, is it a real coincidence? Because the night before at the University of Washington football game, another drone got loose. They had to stop the game and figure out what was going on there. Because you think about it, there's a drone just floating around above us. That's kind of scary if you think about it.
It is very scary, actually, because you don't know what's in it. You don't know what anything. I heard a report the other day I won't even get into about drones and what they can do now. It's like, that's scary.
And how do you get it out of the sky, Amity? Like, how do you go up 1,000 feet in the air and get a drone out of the sky?
You get a marksman and shoot that guy down.
You have Geno Smith throw at it. He was pretty accurate yesterday. I think he could have hit a drone from like 1,000 feet.
I think, you know what? Next time, we'll have Geno do it.
I can throw this ball over that mountain.
All right, so next week the Hawks travel to Detroit to play the Lions, who have the same record. My dad is a huge Lions fan, and after I talked to him yesterday, I don't think that the Seahawks have much to worry about, but sorry, Dad.
All right.
Yeah, that was a rough one for the Lions yesterday. That was a very Lions loss. The Lions are like the Mariners of the NFL.
Oh, gosh.
It's been so long since they've been competent, and then they get competent, and then something bad happens. You know, the Mariners obviously blew a very big lead yesterday, but the Lions are a really good team, actually. You know, their record doesn't say it, but they can really run the ball. And as we saw yesterday with the Seahawks, teams that can run the ball have a chance to score again.
The Seahawks had a guy yesterday in the Atlanta Falcons who ran all over them with the number 84. And I hate to be that guy, but if you wear number 84, you're not supposed to be running all over somebody's defense. 84 is usually associated with somebody who's skinny and plays wide receiver and is really dainty. 84 crushed the Seahawks 140 plus yards rushing.
I didn't know that about number 84.
You learn something new.
Every day, every day. Okay, real quick, what about the Pro Bowl, replacing it with a week of a skills competition and a flag football game? What do we think of this?
I love it. I play flag football every weekend.
Nice.
I'm in a couple of flag football leagues, so this is right up my alley. You know, it gives you some of the same excitement of football with the touchdown passes and the great catches without the violence.
Yes.
You know, it's fun that way.
Well, to be honest with you, the Pro Bowl really didn't have any violence since the last 30 plus years of its existence. When they go out to the Pro Bowl, it's basically a free trip to Hawaii for the players and their families.
They're just having fun. No one's trying to get injured.
It's two-hand touch, and it's not really exciting anyway. So.
All right, well, we'll be excited to see how it looks. Thank you so much for coming down.
Oh, thank you for having me. I always love it.
Come here anytime, Terry. We love you. Thanks for that little bit of information.
Got you guys.
All right, and remember, my friends, to visit the Michael-Shawn Casino Event Center for all kinds of concerts and shows, including the Voice of Romance, Johnny Mathis, on November 15th. You can find ticket info at the website on your screen. I'm not going to miss Johnny Mathis. I will be there.